Rome wasn't built in a day. The trading part is actually easy, but the psychology part is very, very tough. I used to trade so many different pairs when I first started. I used to think more trades, more money, you know. But honestly, the more you watch 1 to 3 pairs, the more you understand it. And I don't think just because you have a payout, it doesn't mean that you're profitable, you know. There's no room for error. There's no room for taking chances. No strategy is going to make you rich. Like, well, every strategy is going to make you rich, but it's not the strategy. It's just following a set of rules, you know. You have to ask yourself, like, if I'm a full-time professional trader, would I be taking this trade? And the answer is no. So why do it from the start?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another trading interview. I'm here with Faye from Ireland, and today she's going to tell us a little bit more about her trading strategy. In the past few months, she has done several payouts here with the Trading Pit, mainly trading gold and US30, if I'm not mistaken. So today we're going to dive a little bit more into her background, the method that she applies to the chart. So we're going to see a little bit more about how she analyzes the markets and what kind of trades she takes and what it took her to get to this current moment in time to start producing those consistent prop firm payouts. Well, Faye, thank you so much for being here and taking the time. Could you maybe introduce yourself?
Yes, so thanks for having me and thanks for inviting me on. So I'm Faye, I'm from Ireland, like you said. I'm 34. I have one son who's 7, who's my biggest motivation for getting into trading. And I'm actually pregnant now. I'm 6 months pregnant with the second child. So I'm a restaurant owner and a chef by trade, so I'm still running my restaurant right now. And like I say, my son is kind of what got me into looking to do something online. And I found trading 2 years ago, just a little over 2 years ago. And I've been down the rabbit hole that everyone goes through. I think I've had some success. It hasn't been consistent fully. Still learning, still getting better all the time. I wouldn't sit here and say that I'm a fully profitable professional trader, but I'm definitely getting there. Yeah, funded with you guys and got quite a saucy payout last week, which has been really, really significant part of my journey as well.
Congratulations. Well, I'm dying to hear then, like you go from being a chef, being a full-time mother or part-time mother into being somebody who trades the technicals of the charts and starts trading gold. Like obviously the trading industry is primarily dominated by males, so it's fantastic to see yourself achieving these kind of results. Like where did it then start? Like where did the actual journey in itself start? Where did you come across trading? Was it Instagram?
Well, I had actually been buying crypto previously for years before, and I had actually thought that I was going to get into day trading crypto, like buying and selling. I didn't actually realize there was a whole other industry out there. And actually someone that I was working with, funny enough, he was in the Forex market, and he kind of explained to me a little bit about it. And I just started looking into it online. I think I saw someone on TikTok was the first person I'd come across, and I had said to him like, oh, do you think this is a scam or whatever? And yeah, I know who that person is. He's a network marketer. I'm not with him anymore, but
Obviously.
yeah, just joined a community and joined several other communities since then. You know, every time you think that it's a different strategy is going to work or whatever, but in the end it's all up here really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess I took a real big turning point last year. I did a course on the Eco Learn Academy with Abdallah Harfort, and obviously the year that I had done before that gave me some knowledge and some basics, but when I joined and did his course, even though he's quite advanced, it's also quite simple, and it just kind of felt right to me. And since then I've just been working on my mindset and obviously just narrowing down the pairs that you trade, how much you trade, and all the different rules and regulations that you should apply yourself.
Fantastic. Now I'm curious then to hear what that strategy is all about, because what pairs you trade, what time frames you trade, and what are the actual key components of that strategy that you use?
Yeah, so US30 is quite simple, so I'll just do that one first. So I literally just scalp US30 on the New York Open, half to my time every day. Just for about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm only looking for a really small movement, wick down, volume, break small support and resistance. 10, 20 pips is great, high lot size. So we do that every day. So that means I know that at least I'll make some money every day, 5 days a week. So it kind of feeds that itchy finger, you know. And then for gold, really just support and resistance. Trend is your friend, obviously, when it comes to gold. And that definitely was a factor in the payout that I got last week. I managed to catch it just before it turned, you know, for the sell off, which was great. We don't always get those big runs, you know. So you have to take them when they're there. But yeah, top-down analysis, obviously, and then my entries are kind of on the 15-minute time frame. I used to trade with a very small stop loss, looking for a big RR, but things change, and now if I can get a 1-to-1, 1-to-2, I'm happy. And anything smaller than 100 pip stop loss kind of makes me nervous on gold. So yeah, 15-minute time frame, support and resistance. I don't wait for a candle closure. I did start doing that for a while, but I don't actually think it's necessary. When there's volume and gold wants to break a level, it will just break it, and you can miss quite a lot of the move by waiting for a candle closure, I find. In terms of session times, gold plays with my heartstrings because, like, I find it's inconsistent, or it can be consistent for a period of time, so like London session can be really busy for a while, and then it's New York session, and then it's pre-London or Asia, so it's just about having alerts and being ready to take the trade when it appears, really.
Fantastic. Well, it sounds like there's quite some components then to the strategy itself, and that you don't really pin it down to some very specific rules, but that you more kind of like go with the overall momentum and the overall market direction,
Price
and
action,
aim to
essentially.
capitalize on that. Indeed,
Yeah.
on the direct price action. Well, that's interesting to hear, because I always hear different perspectives on the market. Some always say, hey, you need a very strict, straightforward plan that you need to stick it to day in, day out. And yours seems a little bit more fluid, more kind of like, go with the flow and see what the market provides you with. Well, obviously for a strategy that trades like that, I can assume that you need to have a pretty strong mindset, right?
Yes, something I've definitely struggled with. Totally, totally admit
How
that.
have you made the most amount of progress with that then over the past few months/years?
Just showing up every day, repetition, losses or lessons. I knew when I started trading very quickly, like, I have a huge passion for it, obviously the financial side of it is appealing, but I really enjoy it and I love doing it. So I knew I'd get there eventually, and you do see everyone saying, like, Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen any trader who has become fully professional and profitable in a very short amount of time. And at the end of the day, the trading part is actually easy, but the psychology part is very, very tough. Yeah, honestly, just repetition, just keeping going, keeping throwing myself at it.
Yeah, I
And
mean, the biggest
yeah,
difference is probably just showing up, right? I mean, that's
yeah,
where most traders struggle. When you feel that, you then think, hey, I'm going to take some time off, maybe get off the charts for a week or two, but you keep on showing up every single
yeah.
day. So you see what happens on the markets every single day, and you use that information then to reiterate and to reevaluate and, execute at the end of the day, right?
Exactly, and the more you watch, like, I used to trade so many different pairs when I first started. I used to think more trades, more money. I'd be trading
Yeah.
every pair. But honestly, the more you watch 1 to 3 pairs, the more you understand it. And gold, like, I mean, I used to have such a love-hate relationship with gold. It made me the most, and then it lost me the most. And now I love it. I
Yeah.
don't need any other pairs. And you just have to, watch it every day, study it, see how it moves, get a feel for it. And you're not always going to be right, like, you have to take
No,
the
of course.
losses. And that's
Yeah.
something that I used to struggle with, is the revenge trading, for sure. So yeah, it's just trying to shut off the phone and the charts and just get on with your day and take the win or the loss on the chin and move on.
Well said. Yeah, I think three key takeaways from that part. Then definitely cut down on the amount of pairs that you trade. Keep the strategy ultimately relatively simple. Don't overcomplicate, and show up every single day so that when you trade those pairs that you know and that you see every single day, you know how to act on those, and try and stay consistent in that regard. Well, that's fantastic. Now, what I'd love to hear a little bit more about then is the journey in becoming a profitable trader, because obviously we've talked about the strategy that you use and the core components of becoming successful with that strategy. But now let's talk about a little bit more about the actual success that you've had in recent times. Like, when did you actually decide, hey, I'm going to start trading with prop firms? I'm going to start trying to make maybe a monthly or a weekly income through trading with those prop firms?
Yeah, so that's actually a story in itself, is my journey with prop firms, to be honest. So I started trading in September 2 years ago, and I started my I didn't really know about prop firm challenges initially. I was using a broker account for a short period of time, blew loads of money, you know.
Yeah.
And then I started my prop firm challenge, I want to say maybe December 2 years ago. And I actually passed 200K accounts on the same day in January. So maybe in about six, say, or 8 weeks of starting. But the day I passed them, the prop firm that I was trading with went down. It was kind of during the time of the MT5 licensing issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, the day I passed them, they went bust. And I waited months to get them back, and that never happened. Then I passed 2 more accounts with another prop firm. And the day I was due $8,000 payout, so this was about May or June, they went bust as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, and then I had a third one. So third one, I passed 200K account, and that account is still floating in the air somewhere. They gave me 1 payout, then they never gave me the account back, and they promised me it back so many times. So it's actually something that I would like to talk about here, because you guys are you know, you're one of the best firms definitely that I've come across. I went for cheap ones when I first started trading. I was completely uneducated in the prop firm space, so I didn't realize. And I think it's really important, because a lot of people say that trading is a scam, and that is the one area of trading that I have found scammers. I don't know, maybe they came in with the best intentions and they just couldn't run the business. I don't know, but it definitely set me back. I don't know, it's hard to say would my journey have been any different or any shorter, because what happened to me then is I was trying to rush to pass accounts, because I knew I could do it quickly, and because I had, you know, I could trade, but it just turned me into a bit of a gambler to get past quickly to try and get to that payout stage. So yeah, it did kind of trigger psychology issues, but like they're already there anyway, so I can't put the full blame on them.
Yeah. At the end of
You
the day,
know,
that's what formed you to who you are today, right?
exactly. So, you know, it is what it is. And I kept going. Yeah, gutting, absolutely gutting. And
Yeah.
even like when I, you know, request a payout now, even with you guys, I'm still like, ooh, is it going to come? You know,
Yeah.
until it's actually in the bank, it's very hard to have full confidence, you know. But what I like about you guys is, you know, you're human. You can have a conversation with you. If, you know, we've overmargined, guilty, you guys will send an email and we can discuss it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not just hard breach, you know. Oh, the rules that one of the prop firms that I was with put in was ridiculous. Any reason to breach you, like any
Yeah.
single reason not to give you a payout. And it's already such a psychological game and such an emotional game. To add on that stress and pressure is you know, it adds to the journey, and it adds to, I see it like with other people now I know who are getting into it. It's the rush to pass, the rush to make profits, you know. It is tough, and everyone wants to make 10 grand a week from a week in starting, you know,
Yeah.
and it's not realistic, unfortunately. But because there's money, and you know, if that candle goes from there to there, you can possibly make it.
Yeah.
People want to press the buttons. So anyway, long story short, I guess I've kind of become profitable consistently this past year, so kind of from December to now, essentially. I have had a few ups and downs in between. In May, I had about 400K of funding, and I was consistent, and I was getting regular payouts. And that's when I decided that I was going to close my business, my restaurant. And by closing, it just meant not going ahead with buying the building that it's in, you know.
Yeah.
And within a week, I lost all my funding because I felt so much pressure to,
Wow.
yeah, it really messed with my kind of like, I have debt at there as well. And just
Yeah.
that, like, I've had the business for 8 years, you know, so it was like, you have to do this now. And it's not
Yeah.
just kind of like, you know, now that I still have the restaurant, I still have time, but I just felt so much pressure, and it really affected my trading for quite a few months. But now I'm back and I'm funded and I'm back on track. But it's not just, you know, like a one-way street. And I don't think just because you have a payout, it doesn't mean that you're profitable, you know.
Well said.
So I don't think, like, it's such a journey, and there's no room for error. There's no room for taking chances. You have to be so disciplined. And I'm fairly, like, I don't want to say erratic, but like my day is like, it's hectic. I'm a chef, you know, like, and I have a kid, and I'm here and I'm there and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And, you know, I see other traders who are meditating and working out, and I would love to do all that stuff, but like the hours in the day, they run out very quickly.
They do. They
But
do.
all of yeah, they do.
But I
it's
think
very
it's the
important.
beauty as well. You found what works for you, and at the end of the day, especially online in the world that we live in now today, everything is kind of like portrayed in a certain way of if in order to be a successful trader, you need to act in this specific way. But what you show with telling your story is that there is no perfect way. As long as you
Yeah.
just show up every single day and you have your strategy that you stick to and you focus on just a few pairs, you are doing what works for you and you're successful with that and you're achieving major success,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
100%.
inspirational in a way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. I like just have my alerts on my phone and show up, like I say, for the New York Open, and I could get away with being on there for about half an hour a day. Now, when you
Yeah.
first start, of course, it's not like that. You have to put in the hours and the reps, and I'm always checking to see what Gold's doing, like, whether just to have a look,
Yeah.
because you're passionate and curious about it. But yeah, no, it works for me. But I think that trading really exposes you for the kind of person you are. Like if
Yeah.
you're impatient or impulsive or greedy or lazy, like I did not know when I first started trading, like the journey. And I'm
No,
grateful for it. It's making me a better person. And it's great. But yeah, you don't realize when you start, like only a trader knows what another trader goes through. It's so true.
definitely. Yeah, we're all in the same boat together, and I think what is beautiful about trading is that it's not you versus a different person. At the end of the day, in trading, it's always you
Yeah,
versus you and you against the market. So we're not fighting against each other to gain a piece of the market. We're all playing against each other or against ourselves and against the markets itself. So we're all in this together and we should work together, right? And that's why I
for
think
sure.
it's the beauty of listening to these kind of stories and having to hear what traders like yourself who have achieved major success have to say, because we can use that information to again reiterate or kind of like reassess how we go about our own journey. So that's amazing. Now, what would be the number one piece of advice that you would give to beginner traders? Like obviously you've already given many nuggets in throughout the last
Yeah.
20 minutes, but what would be the number one piece of advice that you would have liked to have when you started trading?
Well, honestly, everyone can give as much advice as they want, but until you're ready to take it on board and do it, everyone has to go through it to some extent. But just rules, like, no strategy is going to make you rich. Like, well, every strategy is going to make you rich, but it's not the strategy. It's just following a set of rules. For me, it's definitely like, 2 losses in a row, done.
Yeah.
On the US30 session, closing it at a certain point, if it's going against me. So having rules and sticking to them, you won't be successful until you follow a set of rules. And if you want to be a professional trader and you're looking at the chart wanting to just jump in left, right and center, you have to ask yourself, like, if I'm a full-time professional trader, would I be taking this trade? And the answer is no. So why do it, from the start? You need to just do everything right from the start, follow the rules, get the reps in, and just show up every day.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. And just before we end, what has been your largest payout to date with the trading pit?
This one, so it was after the profit split. It was 21,000 before the profit split, and it was about 16 and a half after.
Incredible. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's some life-changing gains
Yeah,
there.
no, it's great. And to see it actually land in the bank account then was just, yeah, I cried. Like, I cry all the time anyway, because I just, like, it's so overwhelming. Like, you put so much into trading, and
Of
when it
course.
starts kind of giving back, it gives back very quickly, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's emotional, but it's great, and I love it, and I love being part of the community, and yeah, it's great.
Fantastic. Well, Faye, we're extremely happy to have you, and let's achieve much more success together. I want to thank you so much for telling your journey to the world, and we appreciate it. And I think a lot of traders can find a lot of value in this interview. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions for Faye or for future traders who are going to be here on the channel, make sure to let us know in the comment section down below. Thanks so much, and have an amazing day.